Yeah, I know. Wait, 6 o'clock on Facebook? You're going more on Facebook?
We're live right now. It's on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Live on the Diversity Capital page.
Oh shit, should I hide?
When I get that.
Take it out. For like 3 days.
Call the person. Yeah, but a cube of sugar at the bottom, and then it's dry or perfect with some bitter, shaded, poured over top.
What kind of whiskey do you get? Bourbon or?
Well, it's usually got with bourbon, but a lot of people with dry. But it's more of like a, it's in the partition like the Ron Ballard. Get a lot of those. Prioritize. And then you work Bellini, zucchini salad, Russian, old fashioned,
The whiskey sours are
just whiskey, lime juice, vodka straight up with the salted bread. Salt makes the salad.
What's that sugar in? Is that what you did?
See, I'll take that. Hi. Yep.
What do you like? You were checking one down.
Yeah, so they can't.
I don't want to Thursday night over at coming down with the money. Yeah, a bunch of guys like our friend Alex these are all people that after celebrating Christmas, I was anyway, he's with a variety of years. A couple years ago, there was a bad time. Doesn't have a bad. Yeah, I've seen them perform.
I know.
Sandwich Road? Yeah, Sandwich
Who's credit you looking at? heard of you. Oh, yeah.
I love that. I was like, no. I can't wait for a event. Almost every day now. Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories. Like, that's why I have great stories. Like, I always like these, you know, compact ones and like they're cool. Check it on the box. Right? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you have like hair and stuff like that for your
Yeah.
like people paying for it.
No, so far it's all been postcards.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going quite well.
yeah.
Oh yeah, like even like once it's done, they pay me to copy out.
Oh, like,
I had to walk out less than 150 on a night.
nice.
About to take me.
Okay.
Like what I did last Friday, I usually
Welcome. You are about to enter a place you've never been before. A place where dreams are made reality. And now,
welcome to the one and the only DITC Social with your host, André Proulx M.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to T's Pub. My name is André Proulx, and I'm the host of Diversity in the Capital. This is a special DITC Social this afternoon. We are celebrating the life of Pierre Prieur, who we lost a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was last week, to celebrate his life. And we got a couple of people here that are going to do some speeches. We're inviting you, if you are online and you're watching on StreamYard, and you want to come and say a few words when we do the pass the mic portion of it, please go to the event portion of go to the comment section of the event, click on the StreamYard link, and then you will be put into the virtual background, virtual backstage, and then we'll bring you up to make sure you can come in and say a few words for Pierre. So to everybody in this room, you're not going to see the screen for a second. Pierre was such a lovely, caring person with not even one bad bone in his body, and I'm sure a couple of people here will contest that. But I'm sure nobody will have anything bad to say. His cheerfulness and his laugh can fill a room, and he's been a staple in the community and an amazing hairstylist that included the one and only Margaret Trudeau. So tonight we have a small gathering at T's Pub for a chance for those of you watching and for those of you inside the room here to say a couple of words about Pierre. He was an amazing staple of the community. He came to T's Pub as much as he could with his amazing partner, Ron. I already said that. Well, we're going to start the event off with Reverend Tina Lowrock, who will officiate today's celebration of life. So, Tina, over to you, my dear.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's everybody going?
Yay, good. Thank you.
So I'm honored to officiate this celebration of life for Ron and for Pierre. We gather to remember the little things about Pierre that made a special place in our hearts. To remember those happy times when we laughed and those times when our hearts broke as one. For who could put a price on memories? We gather to share in our pain, to hurt when you hurt, without presuming that pain is the same. To cry when you cry, and to not try to hide or avoid our tears. For tears are memories in motion. We gather to give the gift of grief. Stand beside you in silence and not be uncomfortable with your tears. To allow you the gift of mourning, the loss, and not lose patience. For grief is nature's way of healing a broken heart. We come here today with full hearts and numb minds. There are no words to express the mixture of feelings that surround each person here today. Sadness for ourselves, because this amazing, vivacious, talented man is no longer here to share with us how to deal with adversity every day with a smile and laughter. We must whisper Pierre's name as he knows it to us today. Please take a moment and remember his contagious laugh, his beautiful smile, his funny jokes, and how he entered a room and everyone knew who he was. And if they didn't, they would get to know him in the next hour or so, right? Because when Pierre was around, there was never a dull moment to be had. Amy, a friend to Pierre, has asked me to read her testimonial as she is on the live stream today. My name is Amy Beth, Since my friend Pierre passed, I have found myself in grief to be shouting often, why? Why the good ones? Why so soon? The answer has come to me. It's called love. Pierre and his partner Ron were everything that screams love. I first met both gentlemen at a very difficult time in my life. I was in a retirement home and had just lost my best friend and was very unhappy. I thought my days were numbered. A friend introduced me to Ron, who rescued me and gave a beautiful place to live. I soon got to meet Pierre and started on a very special journey of a deep friendship. I was diagnosed with a terminal illness. Pierre and Ron were constantly there for me, as I was for them. We spent time talking about everything, enjoying coffee, visits, and treating each other with respect and caring. I feel deeply privileged to have witnessed the love that Pierre and Ron shared. So my answer to why is love, just love, everlasting love that will keep us joined together in the afterlife. I encourage everyone listening that if you fall upon love of any sort, grab that by the heart and honor it. Give it all you have, like I did, like Pierre and Ron did, because it's the most precious thing ever. I love you, Ron and Pierre, forever and always. Thank you, Amy. That was beautiful.
Yeah, very nice.
This is a sacred and special moment where we can let tears flow and let laughter heal, where we can share stories and begin the journey of turning those stories into memories. We'll hear the music of his heart and see the snapshots of his time on earth. It is an important day that we gather together to honor a life and mourn a death. Time stands still for just a moment as we sit here to acknowledge that someone has touched our lives, has left an imprint on our hearts, and that our souls are eternally changed. Pierre impacted each one of us. His living made a difference, and it will continue to do so as long as each of us remember him in your hearts and carry the lessons of his life with you. You are now the representatives and ambassadors of Pierre's legacy. He showed you how to live with challenges and struggles and how to survive. Well, not every moment was easy, and not every memory etched in gold. In the final analysis, Pierre gave to each of you every inch of what he had to offer. He was there to listen, help with the community, give advice. He sure did have the gift of understanding. He indeed held back, but always tried to give it his all. Pierre, you are truly loved by everyone here today. Please know that every time you are close by, people felt your love. You elevated their spirits. Some people did not feel up to par, and you would always make them smile. But the joke that maybe changed their mindset about life, even when life was not easy for you here. We could always count on being the life of the party, right, Ron? We always knew you were present because you made everyone feel special, and you acknowledged them with a hug, a smile, or just started a random conversation. Each person here today, Pierre would like you to know that you are missed. Your presence, your voice, and your messages meant so much to so many. You are all his future and his memories. Be kind and be patient with each other, and allow each one of you to experience grief in a way that fits them best. Washington Irving said, "There's a sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love. Accept your tears and expressions of loss. Accept the angels in human form who come along with a word, a hug, and a memory to share. Help each other during those difficult times like the holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, and times when you will miss him the most. I always thought to help your healing process and to never forget that one special person that loved you or made you smile was always there for you when you needed a little nudge. By honoring Pierre today, I invite you all to feel free to share your stories and your memories. Please feel safe and comfortable as we are all here to support one another and grieve individually and collectively for Pierre, to celebrate his life and journey. I invite Ron to say a couple of words.
Just go out the door. Yeah.
Hello all. Thank you for taking this time to remember Pierre together here at Tees. On the one hand, Pierre had a kind and generous love for his family. And on the other hand, he also had an insatiable love for the male body. He said to me often, if I die and there is reincarnation, I hope I come back as a gay man. I love my life, I love my family, and oh, do I love when it's raining. Man, grown, I know. When it comes to his mom and dad, there were no bounds of his love for his parents. I never met either of them, but from the stories and comments he shared, I felt like I somehow got to meet them both. His mom was his mentor, his conscience, his business partner, but mostly Shirley was his friend. He confided that he missed talking to her every day. That became a huge void after she passed. His father, on the other hand, and in Pierre's own words, he was a handful. His stories of his dad, Andy, the shenanigans and situations that he got in and out of are hilarious. A good part of Pierre's sense of humor comes from his father. I think a good part of his shenanigans comes from his father too. Last night I needed to be at the bar here at Tees to think and write about the men in Pierre's life. I sat at the far end of the bar looking around at the Sunday night regulars, a good mix of young and older. I felt a sense of community and was comfortable in my surroundings. Pierre gave me that. Pierre was an openly gay man his entire life. One clue may have been him more interested in Tina's Easy Bake Oven when they were kids. From his first encounter right until the day he died, Pierre enjoyed his life as a gay man. He often, the day he died, oh my God, just let me give this just for a second. I swear the doctor that was to help with Pierre's injection, and yes, he was hot. And I swear Pierre was checking him out just before.
Oh my God.
Doesn't it sound like From his first encounter right up to the day he died, Pierre enjoyed his life as a gay man. He's often said, I don't know what's on the other side, or whether there's truth in reincarnation. If there is, that's from Mike Wilson and George. Thank you. Where was I? I haven't read this. I mean, I was up at 3:30 in the morning trying to pull this all together, and I'm just, for the first time, hearing myself read it out loud. From his first encounter right up to the day he died, Pierre enjoyed his life as a gay man. He often said, I think if there is another, I will come back as a gay man. In our prime, when youth and beauty are on our side, Pierre had the energy to juggle working at his salon in Gatineau, with then filling in with waiting tables at his mother's restaurant on Elgin Street here in Ottawa, then turn into Pierre Go-Go Boy at a nearby gay club, CP's, to party the night away. That's where he met his now ex-husband, Michael. When they wed, theirs was one of the first same-sex marriages performed legally here in Ontario. Yeah. I asked Michael for a fond memory of that time together, and Michael wrote back, Pierre was a very social guy, and he loved a good party. One year for my birthday in around 2000, he planned a 70s disco-themed party. We went out and found outfits, and he gave me a 24-hour Afro perm, and Wendy, a friend, a drop perm, so we would look authentic. We decorated his parents' basement and had a great night dancing, drinking, and eating. He also said, there are photos of it, the ones I gave you. I just wanted to let you know that the photos that are meant to be here are still at Pierre's apartment. Pierre would tell of barbecues and pool parties at their home in Overbrook. He enjoyed keeping house, hosting parties, cooking and baking as part of his hosting duties. Even planting flowers and clipping the lawn, he wanted people to feel welcome in Michael and his home. Pierre could talk to a celebrity. Okay, switching gear here. Pierre could talk to a celebrity the same way he would talk to one of his clients. He'd get away with throwing back an insult when he felt insulted, all in the delivery of a calculated sting. One time he tells me of this concert he attended, coming to intermission, he had to pee so bad he didn't realize that Tom Cruise was standing at the next urinal over.
Standing on a box.
Really?
Pierre had this thing about Tom Cruise, both the same age and shared the same birthday. His one shot of checking out Tom Cruise, and he missed. A little about the stay in the hospital.
Sorry, I didn't get my back
Pierre confided. Pierre confided a horrible story of a previous stay in hospital. He was treated by a doctor whose culture it was to be punished. Punished by death for being found a homosexual. Pierre recalls opening his eyes in hospital room, seeing the washroom close by, but he couldn't get to it. He was left too weak to move, lying in his own urine and feces. This doctor was slowly and deliberately sentencing Pierre to his death. His now family doctor came to visit him in hospital. He sees the circumstances. The attending doctor is reported to the College of Physicians and is no longer practicing medicine.
Thank God. Yay.
Pierre carries this in his head coming back for another hospital stay. He could not let me go home or out of sight once he left the constant care of doctors and nurses in ICU. Come time for Pierre to be admitted, let's just say when your boyfriend grabs your hand, please don't leave me alone. I had no choice but to make him that promise. a good friend of Pierre's was summoned and heeded to the call to collect my overnight things and medications. Thanks, Wendy Wood, for dropping everything to do that. Stop. I was ready for the long haul. The long haul was 8 days. And on the 8th day, Pierre got to choose the time of his death. For him, it wasn't a hard thing to do. Even posting on Facebook saying goodbye to his friends and family. Wow, you don't see that every day. The men in Pierre's life were there for various reasons on the timeline of his life. I feel fortunate to be able to count myself as one of them. We have all come away for the better from knowing Pierre. I came into his life at a time when I was alone and he was scared of being alone. I guess that's it. Good. It was an honor to be Pierre's friend, his confidant, his partner, and lover. I thank you, Pierre, for showing me a love everlasting. For those of us you left behind, we think gone too soon. On the other hand, wherever you are, you can dance and fly again. I would like to give a special shout out to Amy Beth Allen. Without her strength, these past days, this memorial would not have happened. I love her much, as did Pierre. And I thank you all for stopping by.
Thank you, big thanks to very strong man.
Oh, thanks, Ron.
We do have a couple of comments on social media. If you give me a few minutes, Tina. So we actually do have Amy Allen. Hi, it's Amy Allen. Hi, Amy. She is watching. François Zaraga, to a dear friend, you will miss. Such an awesome friend. I will always love you, and you will always trust. Always true to himself. I don't know who that is. Mickey always had the biggest smile on his face. He will be missed. And François remembers. I also remember when we went cruising at Indian Point. I don't think this is the type of roasting, François. His two ex-partners and his family here. But we cried and laughed so much that he peed his pants. Well, that's not surprising. I mean, if he was checking out somebody just before he passed, like, I think I'm the same way too. Like, once you love men, you don't stop, right? Over to you, Tina.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ron. That was beautiful. You did it. You did it, Ron.
I did. I can't believe I got through it.
Well,
Beautiful. I'd like to invite Stanton up to share a story.
So anybody coming up, we ask that you try. We are having some sound issues here still, so if you can try and project your voice a little bit to make sure, because the camera up at the top is the one that's giving the feed to all those 6 people that are watching online, and will watch this later. Go ahead, Stanton. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Stanton. I'm one of the proprietors of Tees Pub here. First of all, I want to say thank you to Ron. Your words were beautiful, honest, vulnerable, and I just love you. That was well done, sir. I'm so beyond proud of you. Big hug. Before I tell my funny story, because it's almost embarrassing, but please help yourself. There's some nibblies next door here. Please help yourself. Ron made sure that everybody could have something to eat, and that way, if you have alcohol, it doesn't go right to your brain. So, my funny story about this young man, this lovely, lovely hairstylist. So, in 1986, 87, I was working here, not here, but I was working in Ottawa, and I had this, if you see me now, I don't have much hair, but back in the day, I was 110 pounds with big hair from the 80s, which was kind of cool, and I had a really hard time finding somebody who knew how to cut curly hair, and it was recommended I go to him. And I walked out of there and I have to say, I felt like the prettiest little queer boy or gay boy that you could possibly imagine, because he took my long, fuzzy hair and turned it into a Whitney Houston bob. And then the best part is I was a member of the Lesbian Gay Youth of Ottawa Hall, and we were performing for a youth group fundraiser at CP upstairs. And we all got bracelets, and we weren't allowed alcohol. You were allowed a juice or a pop. Thank God for big purses. Yes, we brought our own booze in with us because we thought, oh, here we go. But I have to say, Pierre was a master at cutting hair. I'm serious, it was the best haircut I ever had in my life. Now jump to last year. Pierre and Ron were here for lunch, and I saw him, and I was like, I know you from someplace. And the little bugger turned around and goes, oh, I want to dance with somebody. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, so, two visits to sit and have him cut hair, and he remembered me like an hour or two later, because I'm only in my 40s. In dog years. Shut up, you. But I just want to say, Ron, I am so jealous. You had the most beautiful partner in the world. He had a heart as big as the world, and I can't wait. I can't wait to have that type of love that you guys have. So thank you. And thank you to André for doing this. Thank you, ma'am, for doing this. I appreciate you. And I'll give you the mic back.
And let's thank Stanton for all the wonderful nipples everybody in the bar is going to get. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you, Stanton. That was beautiful. Now this is the time to share, and please feel comfortable. Please show us here through your eyes. Please share a story with us. Who would like to share their story with us?
Nobody wants to go first.
Does anybody want to come and share a story?
Oh, you don't have something to go first.
Okay, first. Do you want to do it here, or do you want to do it up front with us? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Although I didn't know Pierre that well, because he never cut my hair, and but in recent memory, one of the joys of going on Facebook was seeing, do you remember this? Or do you remember when? And it made me feel so young. I would forward some of them on to my friends and said, what is that round, funny looking thing? And I said, oh, that's for when you have 45. And some of my younger friends would ask me, what's a 45? So I had to explain that to them. Or when you'd ask me, or when you mentioned something about an old show or one of those old toaster ovens, and more recently the ringer washer. And yes, I grew up with one, so I knew what a ringer washer was. Yeah, so those are fond memories of Pierre, and even in the summer when he was here, scooting around on his wheelchair, he'd come and brighten up the place. So he'll be missed this summer.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much. I'm going to walk around. Anybody that wants to share a story, just let me know.
The link for StreamYard has been shared in the comments. So if you are on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook right now, would you like to come on screen and give a little something to Pierre? Feel free to click on the link and you'll be put into the virtual background. Tina, how are you in the other room?
I'm doing well.
You're doing well? You're looking amazing. You're doing great. I love it.
Do we have people online that'd like to share a story?
Oh, we have a story in the room.
I don't have anything prepared, but so my name is Ellie, and I met Pierre because
he was boyfriends and then married to my brother Michael. And in the mid 90s, I lived in Puerto Vallarta. And then, yeah. And then I came home one day and spent the afternoon with my brother Michael. And my brother Michael loves to do things with my hair and my makeup and so on. And so he had done a lot of things with my hair. And I hadn't met Pierre yet, but Pierre came rolling in home and saw my hair that Michael had done. I think he used like duct tape and like, I don't know, oil or something. And without meeting me, he's like, Pierre was like, oh my God, Michael, what did you do to your sister? So Pierre promptly did my hair beautifully. And then for 12 years after that, did my hair regularly. And that was my first meeting with Pierre. But Pierre became much more than a hairdresser with me. He was my brother-in-law. When Michael and Pierre married, they were one of the first same-sex couples to marry in Ottawa, and I was happy to be there for that. And I was with them with some very hard times. We lived together, and Pierre was always just the sweetest, kindest brother-in-law to me, and I will always remember him that way, not just as the guy that would constantly fix Michael's mistakes. And I can't tell you how devastated I was to hear of his passing. It came as a surprise, and like I said on Facebook, I wish that I would spend much more time with him, and I wish I would have told him how sweet and lovely he was to me, and how supportive and kind he was to me. And I have very, very fond memories of him, and I'm so glad that we're here to honor him tonight. And thank you, Michael, for bringing him into my life.
Thank you. Michael, did you want to come and say something about Pierre?
I met Pierre across the street at a place that was much like this. We met one night and decided that we liked each other and wanted to explore the possibilities, so he came back to my place, and he never left. He moved in. I know. He moved in one outfit at a time, whereas I think a lesbian brings a U-Haul. So he would basically, in the morning, we'd have breakfast. I'd ask him, what are you doing after work today? And he said he was free. So I said, well, why don't you come back and we can have dinner together? So he'd show up with another outfit. And this just went on and on. And next thing you know, we were living together for several months when I realized that we were living together for several months. And we had a great relationship. We enjoyed many of the same things. He was a lot more social than I am. A lot of you probably don't even recognize me because when Pierre came into a room, he would draw all the focus, and that was fine with me. I'm quite happy sitting in the background. He did many wonderful things over the years. He arranged surprise parties. He, as I said, very social. We went on lots of trips to Puerto Vallarta. And he did rescue my sister many times from my, I thought, if you live with a hairdresser long enough, you pick up his skills. That just doesn't work that way.
What happened to you?
Well, no, I did my own. Yeah, I did my own. So, but I'll wear it. Ellie won't. But Pierre was a very special man, and the year it became legal in Ontario to marry if you were same-sex, on the 5th of July, I presented him with a marriage license as his birthday gift. And what I didn't know when I went until after I read the fine print is you have to action those things within 90 days or you have to buy another one. So all of a sudden we were off on this odyssey of arranging a same-sex marriage where there was no such things as planners, where there weren't very many venues that would let you use their basements or their public rooms. We had to figure out. Well, we overcame a lot of things because we also had to do it on a budget since we had 90 days to put it together. So we discovered if you don't say the word wedding, things cost less. So we went to Fig Elise in Gatineau and we bought their large, their medium, and their small chocolat sublime cakes. We made our own little platforms from materials at the dollar store and some decorations we got at a cake decorating shop, and Pierre put it all together on these 3 gradual levels with bridges in between and doves flying around. It was beautiful, and many people said it was also one of the best tasting wedding cakes they'd ever had. The flowers we got at the Parkdale Floral Market and from many hydro fields and beaches along highways because, you know, yeah, Queen Anne's lace and daisies and brown-eyed Susans are all beautiful. And we put them all together at Ellie's apartment in a whole bunch of dollar store vases. And no, it was a lot of fun. And we had to figure out who was the bride, and we decided neither one of us was. So we had to figure out how we were going to get from the back of the marriage ceremony spot to the front, and who was going to give us away. So we decided we would do angled aisles from the back corners to the front center, and we would walk our mothers up the aisle with our best people in front of us and the ring bearer on one side and the flower girl on the other side. And about 3 days before we were supposed to have this wedding, a colleague of mine's wife had a friend who was a journalist for the TV Ontario French station, and she asked if she could give us an interview, so we gave her an interview. Then she asked if she could send a camera crew. So we thought about it, and we said yes, you could send a camera crew, but we advised everyone, camera crews on this side of the room, so if you don't want to be on the camera, stay on that side of the room. And so we were then, our wedding was on a television show that had the discussion of the wedding and clips from it, then a debate between a guy from Egal and someone from the Archdiocese, and then a call-in segment. And a lot of the people who were calling in were not happy with the Archdiocese. So it was, life of Pierre was always an adventure. And the world is better for having had him, and it's a little less colorful now that he has moved on to hopefully bigger and better things. I know his mother is glad to have her boy back, and his dad too. They were all a very close family, and they welcomed me into it, so I was very lucky to have had Pierre in my life.
Thank you, Michael. As a younger going into the family, I want to thank both you and Pierre for trailblazing the marriage and everything that we have today, because, yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you to Ron for continuing Pierre's spark. Like you obviously kept it going too. We got somebody else.
Yeah, we have somebody else. Don. Hi, everybody. I came all the way from Vancouver to Ottawa. I actually knew Pierre through Ron, and I met him at the brunches that are here. Don't forget, brunches on Sunday. A little advertising for okay. I have a voice that doesn't carry very well, so I'm sorry. But, I love Pierre because of that wonderful smile, and he would listen to my ridiculously long stories. And Breakfast by Apple. I mentioned to him when I was in the Navy on the West Coast, we used to pull into Breakfast by Apple. We called it the port. And one of my favorite spots, my sister's been there now. You know, I was in the military for 7 years, and being queer in the military, you know, obviously we hide in the closet, yada yada. But people like Ron, and Pierre, this place, the people I've met since moving from Vancouver to Ottawa, going to CPs before it closed, it's so much easier to be. He never got to see me in this rig out. This is what I wore. I used to volunteer at the Aviation Museum.
Very handsome.
Later died. space later. Okay? I used to volunteer at the Aviation Museum and the War Museum. So I have that. But one of the things I did when I was at the Aviation Museum, this goes back to Pierre and all the people here. I petitioned them if I could wear a rainbow flag on my jacket.
Oh, person.
And the person who's in charge of volunteers, so I'll check with my supervisor, just make sure we're all military here.
Sorry.
So she came back and said, yes, that's no problem. So here it is. It's on the non-military side. The rest is military. But it's just people like Pierre that, I wish he was still here. I need a haircut. I just hope he saves room for us when we go and join him.
Is there something about long story short or short story long? We love you, Don, but
I'll get you later. All right. Thank you very much. Scott's Irish, just like French Canadians. Behind me.
Thank you, Don.
I like that.
All right, do we have anybody else that would like to come up and speak?
I hope.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. And what you do in the bathroom is your own thing. Okay, well, you can hover. Anybody else?
André.
We never said this was a G-rated show. I'm sure Pierre would love it. I don't think Pierre was an angel. Not from what I'm hearing.
I think Pierre would love it too.
No one else? All right, Tina, back to you, my dear. Thank you all.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you for all the stories. It was very touching, and we got to see who Pierre was through your eyes and through your stories. The celebration of life is an important ritual in the grieving process. We do not just recognize that a life has ended, we recognize that a life was saved. May you go forward today with a small flickering of light in your soul. May the memories of your loved ones begin to bring comfort rather than pain. May the words touch and the presence of others bring solace. And may you be blessed in your coming and in your going, grateful for life lived and a legacy left behind. Thank you for being present today with us, sharing your memories of Pierre. May this bring you peace in your journey of forgiveness, embrace the memories of life, and go day by day in the presence of love. Listening to all your testimonials today, you have a very good idea of who Pierre was and his ability to help people just by flashing his beautiful smile. I'd like to share a beautiful song that Pierre loved. So please, people at home, people here, I want to hear your voices and I want you to let the music flow through your body.
Hi, we're your weather girls. And have we got news for you? You better listen. Get ready, all your lonely girls, and leave those umbrellas at home. All right.
It's rising.
Rising.
I'm just getting low.
How low, girl?
According to all sources.
What sources now?
The street's the place to
We better hurry up. Just tonight for the first time, just about 10:30. For the first time in history, it's gonna start raining rain.
is rising. The barometer's getting low. According to all sources,